Hello, good morning everyone. It's actually evening here right now. I'm putting this together so I can stick it out there in the morning for you. Hopefully we'll get back on our 5 o'clock schedule this week. But anyways, I thought today what we would do is talk about some common chord progressions, just common ones. Sometimes it's good to kind of go over and see what's out there. I was also thinking about those progressions because sometimes there's things about them that if you just dig a little bit deeper, you get some nuggets out of it. So hopefully I can show you maybe a few nuggets along with those common chord progressions. Probably chord progressions you've already heard, but just hearing from some of the things that I do that kind of make a little bit of a difference in how they sound. So I thought that would be a good thing to do. Just dig a little bit deeper into them, that's all. Talking about digging a little deeper, I don't know if you saw the news today, but I just happened to see the headlines. I don't know where it was at, but it said there's a meteor headed for the Earth, and it gave today's date, August the 6th. And I saw that and I thought, oh my goodness, there's a meteor? It is supposed to be the size of a whale? That's pretty big. I wonder where that's going to fall. And so I had to dig a little bit deeper to look. And so when I dug a little bit deeper, about halfway into this article, it said, oh, but don't worry, it's going to safely pass the Earth. So it pays to dig a little bit deeper. If I hadn't looked at that, I would have went all day thinking, when's that thing going to hit the Earth? Anyways, so why don't we get started on this? We're going to look at these chord progressions. And the first one I'm going to do is one that's, again, these are common, but it's one that I really, really like, probably one of my favorites. And I'm going to call it the 1-5-6-4. Do you know what I mean by that? Okay, well, now we're digging a little deeper here. 1-5-6-4. Well, the 1, okay, is actually the key that you're in, or the main, or the root chord, okay? So whatever that root chord is, we're going to call that 1, or that key. And in this case, the key is going to be G. So G is going to be 1. Okay, so we'll call this pinky finger 1. So if I say 1-5-6-4, if the 1 is G, then the 5 would, of course, you're gonna go all the way up, right? A, B, C is going to be D, because there's the 5. Okay, so we got G is the 1, the 5 is D. The 6, okay, I don't have a 6th finger here, but it's going to be the minor chord, which is going to be EM. And then the 4 is going to be, if this is D, this has got to be a C, right? So that's how, when I say we're going to do the 1-5-6-4 chord progression, that's what I'm talking about. And in this case, we're going to call it, you can also call it the GDEMC. Okay, or GDE minor C progression. And it sounds like this. Okay, or if you strum it. It's just a very common progression. The other day I was playing a song with Tim. We were kind of playing out Mr. Bojangles. Remember that song? Well, that's actually this chord progression. And so we started in G. And we picked it. And then what we did was we went to the D chord, but in going to the D chord, you'll notice my thumb came up on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, and I picked up that bass note with it. So this is actually a D over F sharp. So it goes like this. And you notice when I pick up that extra bass note, it just sounds really good. And then you go to the E, but you're going to strike the open E string for the E minor, C. So it sounds like this. I knew a man, Bojangles and C and worn out shoes. So there you have it. That is the 1-5-6-4 progression, or using the G's, the D, and C, because they go together so well with that E minor chord. Okay, so that's just one chord progression. Let's look at another one. This one, we're going to call it the 1-5-6-4, but it's the same chord progression. Now, how is that? Well, because we're going to make the 1 this time a C chord. Okay, so we change the key. So even though it's a 1-5-6-4, just like the one we just did, it's totally different chords because we're in the key of C. C happens to go with G and F really well, and for a minor, it goes really well with A minor. So we got C, G, A minor, and you should be able to sing in that key, that same song. What's hard about it is the pulling those same bass notes that you could get when you played in the G. It doesn't work the same. It can. It does a little bit. I like it better in G. But anyways, but as you can see, that's the same thing as the 1-5-6-4 chord progression, a very common chord progression. In that case, I changed the key to C, and we're using C, G, A minor, okay? So that's another chord progression. Well, let me pull another one out of here. Now we got a few more minutes here. I try to keep these under 15 minutes, so I'm kind of watching the time too. I know you're telling me just shut up and move on. Okay, I will. All right, so the next one, we're going to do it a little bit differently. Instead of starting on the 1 or your key, or your key or your root note, we're going to start with the 6. Okay, so this one's called the 6-4-1-5. Now the 6 happens to be the minor chord, right? So in this case here, we're going to start with an A minor. I like these chords. And then we're going to go to the 4 from the 6, which happens to be an F. If you were to count it out, it'll be there for the 4. Okay. And then we're going to go to a C. And then we're going to go to the G. So A minor goes with F, C, and G. So let's hear how that sounds. That's a pretty neat one. Using the same chords. you can actually play All the Leaves Are Brown. Or what is that? It's not called that. It's called, I forgot the name of it. All the Leaves Are Brown. I forgot the name of the song. Great. So we're going to put an E in there. A minor, G, F, E again. G, F. So it's another very common chord progression, but those A minor minor chords there just sound so good together with the G and the F, C's and E's, and D minor. Okay, so that's another chord progression. And then let's just do one last one. And this one's we're gonna do it a little bit different too. We're gonna call it the 2-5-1-6. And in this case here, we're gonna be in the key of C. So the 1 is C, and we're starting on 2. So guess what? We're starting in a D. In this case, we're gonna start with a D minor though, okay? The D is a D minor. So D minor, then we're gonna go to the 5, which is a G. Go to the 1 is C. There goes Tilly, my snorer. D minor, G, C, So that is another really, really good chord progression. I don't know if you can hear her now. That's Tilly. She's a little Shih Tzu, and her nose is really flat to her face. So she does a lot of snorting. Right now she's rolling around on the floor snorting. You'd think she was a little pig or something. But anyway, she's very, very happy tonight, I guess. Okay. So I guess we'll just end it right there. And I hope you all have a great day out there or night, wherever you are in this world.